Combat. Jack is in a space with the Lord of Death and wants to perform combat. Just like a skill check, Jack must build a combat dice pool with skill dice. He spends one body in an epic slot and one mind in a normal slot. This gives him one epic and one normal skill die. He rolls the dice and gets a 1 success and 1 demon, which counts as a 0. This would give him a combat roll of 1 versus the Lord of Death's defense value of 2. When you attempt combat against an enemy and do not meet or exceed their defense value, the enemy performs their strike back on the hero. In this case, the Lord of Death would then deal Jack 1 damage. Instead of failing the combat, he uses his hero upgrade, Jack's Knife, to re-roll the epic die that rolled a demon. Instead, this now gives him a 1, giving him a total of 2 successes, defeating the Lord of Death, who has a defense of 2. He also then gains 2 chi. Combat Example 2, Ranged. In order to perform ranged combat, Jack must have an upgrade ability with the ranged ability, Bullet Icon, which he has from his tactical submachine pistol. Then, Jack must make sure he's within line of sight of the target. As long as there are no walls or red lines in the direct path between your hero and the space your target is in, you have line of sight. In this scenario, Jack is facing off against a Wing Kong 6-shooter with a defense of 5. As usual, Jack will create his combat dice pool. This time he places 2 spirit dice, 1 in the normal slot and 1 in the epic slot, gaining 1 epic and 1 normal skill die for his dice pool. Jack's tactical submachine pistol automatically gives him 1 additional die, which is also added to his die pool, giving him 1 epic and 2 normal skill dice. He rolls the dice earning a 4, which is 1 away from defeating the Wing Kong 6-shooter. Jack fails the combat roll, and because the Wing Kong 6-shooter has ranged, he triggers the strike back of the enemy. All enemies have unique strike back abilities listed on their card. For the Wing Kong 6-shooter, roll 2 epic dice and calculate the result into damage dealt to the hero. In this case, Jack takes 4 damage. Combat Example 3. In addition to being more challenging enemies, combat is the same when fighting a boss, except bosses have health, which is tracked on their boss boards, and they take multiple hits to defeat. When a boss spawns on the board, set their health peg into the slot according to the number of players. Additionally, they have other special abilities that you should take into account when fighting them. Jack decides to attack Lightning. He needs to hit a 5 defense. He uses all 3 action dice and gets 1 epic and 2 normal skill dice from the action dice, and 1 normal from his upgrade ability, giving him a total of 4 dice. He rolls them and gets a total of 4 successes. He needs a 5, so Jack takes a fate die with the automatic 2 additional successes, giving him a total of 6. This scores 1 hit on Lightning, reducing his health by 1. The enemy phase. After all heroes have gone, the hero phase ends and we go to the enemy phase. At the start of the enemy phase, all minions move and attack if able. All enemies have their movement score printed in the boot on the top left corner of their card. This is the amount of spaces they will move toward the nearest hero when they activate. Minions will always move toward the closest hero on the board. However, they will never cross over a red line or a colored gateway between one zone to another. If they spawn in the streets, they will always move and stay in the streets. If they spawn inside a zone or in the underground, they stay and move around in those zones. The Wing Kong 6-shooter activates on his enemy phase. Jack is the nearest hero, so he moves his full movement toward Jack. He can't quite get to the same space as Jack, but no worries, he's got the ranged ability, so he still gets to attack. He initiates combat with Jack with a ranged weapon value of 4. Jack then immediately rolls his defense dice pool, which is printed on his hero board beneath his dice slots. He rolls 1 epic and 1 normal die, getting 2 successes, which blocks 2 of the incoming 4 attack value, meaning Jack only takes 2 damage. After all minions have moved and attacked, bosses move and attack as well. However, unlike minions, bosses may move through red lines and colored gateways to pursue heroes. However, they cannot use elevators in Act 2.